Today I want to talk about how what's obvious to you might not be obvious to the patient and how it can significantly impact a consultation. So lots of us will have filler words that we don't realize that we're saying a lot in a consultation. Sometimes a doctor will use the word obviously without realizing or meaning anything by it. But it's really important that you avoid this unless you specifically intend to use it, because it can completely change what happens later on in the consultation if you use it too often early on in a consultation. I'll give you an example. A patient has asked you a question about their condition. Now, if the doctor says, obviously it's because of this, or obviously it can cause this, they've mentioned it a couple of times. Now, the patient's asked because it wasn't obvious to them. But if they hear a doctor saying, obviously because of X, obviously it can lead to Y, obviously you wouldn't want to do this, obviously you never combine these things, what the patient is hearing is, this is supposed to be really obvious, and you asking it suggests that you don't know the basics. And so that can lead to a really dangerous situation in that you have a patient who doesn't understand something important about their care, but they might get to a point where they're scared to ask another question because nobody likes to be made to feel small or made to feel like they're asking something silly. So can you see, by using the word obvious without realizing or intending to, the doctor might create a less safe environment. They might create an environment where the patient feels, I don't want to ask another question because they keep saying obvious. And so if I ask it again, they're going to think I'm stupid. They're going to think that I'm being silly. They're going to think that I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know the basics. And you don't want that. You want patients to ask questions if they don't understand something, because that's how they're going to find out. You don't want them to be scared to ask about more details or ask you to go over something again if you weren't clear. So really, really important that you only use the word obviously if you really intend to. And there are very few situations in a consultation where you probably want to use that word. All right, so obvious might not always be obvious to the patient. If you're finding this helpful, do subscribe for the next video in our communication and consultation skills series.